Warning, this podcast will contain explicit language. Please continue at your own discretion. Welcome back to the Dominant Podcast. This episode will be containing, is that a thing? This episode is going to be tackling a very delicate and controversial topic that I'm pretty sure we all find interesting or we've heard nonstop coverage of. And that topic is police brutality. And, its underlying topics. But I want to remind you, the listeners, that this is entirely our opinions. Don't take this as all as facts. We're going to provide some facts, but, give you our opinions. Now, first things first is, have any of you guys ever, come into any sort of contact with cops?
I have.
Okay, when you ask that, positive or negative contact with cops?
Well, I guess we're talking about police brutality, so anything where they came off some sort of douchey or something. Yeah.
Okay, but what exactly do you mean by police brutality?
Oh, not that they did.
No. I mean, not into a drastic measure, but what do you sum up as police brutality?
Well, actually, police brutality can be all kinds of things, from physical. Physical, they'll hit you or push you around and shit, or they'll just talk down to you, insult you. Yeah,
so you mean pretty much anything where they overuse their authority?
Yeah, well,
in a sense,
if they violate your department policies, constitutional protections, or the law itself.
So that's the actual definition.
Those are three of what they can.
Okay.
The police.
So now we're talking our actual personal experiences with it.
Yeah. Well, have any of you guys had any personal experience where you guys have felt like cop has been a bit of a prick?
Yeah.
Nah.
And Tito?
No, can't say that.
With my experience, I don't think I would call them a dick. It was a bad situation that I think I could have tried to avoid, but I was really young and scared.
Elaborate, please.
So back in high school, like a week before my 18th birthday, so that doesn't really matter. I stayed in school for one day because my back was hurting me because of exercising.
Yeah, doing all those
weightlift.
Pull-ups.
Yeah, I do a lot of pull-ups. It's really good. Thank you for asking about my physique.
How much you bench?
I don't know, 90 pounds.
90 pounds.
Woo!
You look
Plus
sexy.
the bar. I don't know.
Okay, what happened with the cop?
Serious.
Yeah, it's incredibly serious.
Yeah. Alright, so I stay home one day and it's in the morning. I'm all by myself, so I think, hey, why don't I do what every teenage boy does?
Beat it?
I was trying to be a little more sensitive and aloof, but yeah.
Alright.
Okay, I was beating it, yeah. Painting a vivid picture, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll continue.
So I hear a very loud, just angry knock on the door, like you always do with police, because they don't knock lightly. They open up. And I was like, all right, I don't know who this is, see who it is. I put a blanket around myself because I'm wearing a wife beater and gym shorts that don't stop you from seeing anything, even when you're flaccid. So I open the door, I have the blanket around me. I see 4 police officers, one with an automatic weapon, pointed at me, saying, "Drop the blanket, drop the blanket." And thinking to myself, I was like, "Oh God, I do that, it's gonna be everything." He says, "Drop your blanket." It was like, "Sir, officer, I can't do that right now." Like, "Do you have anything in your hands?" "No." They grab me, throw the blanket down, immediately put me in handcuffs in front of my own home, where I could see my neighbors peeking out of the windows. The upstairs neighbor comes downstairs.
Your neighbors were like, "I knew it."
And they come downstairs and they just see me there, standing straight up with an erection and my hands handcuffed behind my back. They asked me, "What's happening, Joseph?" They're like, "Don't worry about it. Go back upstairs. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see."
So, and
They finish their search of the house, make sure that it's clear, I suppose. They bring me inside. I think I was still in handcuffs when they sat me down. And right now I'm just freaking out because I've never dealt with the police to begin with. I just had one shove a gun in my face 2 minutes ago, so I'm freaking out a little bit. I'm thinking, how do I get out of this? Oh, I'm pretending I'm sleepy. So I started nodding off a little bit. Like, "Do you know why we're here?" "I have no idea why you're here." It had to do with something with someone on parole. So they were coming to look for for my
How old were
brother.
you?
17. They were looking for my brother who was
Did
on
you ask for
parole
a
at the
warrant or
time.
anything?
I didn't know anything. I just immediately ended up in handcuffs.
Fucking Ricky.
Yeah. So they talked to me. They talked to me a little bit, and they say, "Oh, well, you didn't. You presented yourself as a threat in the moment." I was like, "Okay, I kind of get that because man, weren't visible, and I had them under the blanket at the time. So, I guess they could be scared at the moment for it, or present me as a threat. But anyone that knows me knows I'm a teddy bear. But these are police officers who deal with very serious situations, and they have to deal with these situations sometimes roughly. So I don't really hold it against them. Yeah, it was a shitty situation for me, but I don't hold a grudge for that to them.
So that was your encounter. That's the only time you've encountered cops.
For the most part, yeah.
What about you, Ricky? You said you had one.
I've had a couple.
Well,
But I mean, two of them that have been more personal is once I was outside of Alhambra High. It was me and Chiche. We went to go get some Arizonas from Super A, and we came back. And as soon as we came back, the cops pulled us over. Just boom, stopped us. And I mean, at the time we're maybe
Wait, hold on a second. Was that when I was at Panda?
yeah. I was 17, he was 18. He had a lighter and nothing else, and these cops pulled us over, and they're like, "Yeah, there's these kids smoking in front of the school," and they said they fit your description, which I thought was funny because our school was right across from a fucking police station. Which, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know you don't smoke in front of a police station. It's fucking stupid. So they pull us over. I'm being a smartass because I mean I have nothing on me. I haven't smoked nothing, nothing at all. So I mean, of course I'm being a dick about it because this guy's trying to play bad cop, worse cop. So one cop's like, "Oh, let us know what you're smoking, this and that." I was like, "Are you fucking serious? I mean, can you see my eyes? Do they look glazed? Are you fucking stupid? Why are you being a smartass? Like, would you rather me be a dumbass? Like, are you like what the fuck?" So the cop pulls me to the side because I'm the one being loud. And he's like, "All right, we're gonna do a sobriety test." He's like, "All right, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care." So he goes and he puts the way we were. He was standing in front of me. I was standing, trying to do the finger follow test, whatever the fuck that is. But the thing is the sun was coming from behind me, so it was glaring off his badge. So he was doing the eye test, and I'm trying to follow his finger, but I'm fucking blinking because the sun's like right there. I mean, I wasn't high or anything. Just it was fucking up my vision. So he keeps doing it. He tells me, don't blink. Don't blink. I was like, "Are you fucking serious? I'm following your finger. What matters if I blink?" So he does it again. He's like, "What? Who the fuck told you to blink?" I was like, "You didn't tell me not to blink. Are you fucking retarded?" So he stops and he's like, "All right, whatever." So the other dude goes to the car. When he goes to the car, he comes back and says, "Oh, they got the two guys that were smoking." Nothing like us. We saw when they got him outside of the school. Looked nothing fucking like us. But this guy said, "Oh, I guess it's your lucky day," and fucking walked off. I told him to go fuck himself, and after that, he just harassed me after that. And we saw him not too long, like a couple weeks after, when me and Martin were on the roof. When after they pulled over, homeboy with the Sharpie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they pulled over one of our friends, and he had a Sharpie, and I mean, it was fucking stupid. It was during the tagging days, so it was me and our friend. We were on the roof, and we were hanging out, and I mean, we were trespassing to some extent. I mean, we're on the rooftop with no cars, so I mean, it could be considered trespassing. So we're up there just hanging. We weren't smoking, we weren't nothing. We were just talking, bullshitting, and this cop, well, we didn't know it was a cop at the time. A car was just parked right there, and it was just creeping. So it started driving up on us slow, and we're like, "All right, fuck, we're gonna die. We're gonna get shot." So me and Martin just thinking like, "All right, what's our way to get out?" So this car, boom, turned on the headlights and just busted right there in front of us and parks. So then they get out and they pull up a tase gun. They're like, "All right, you guys stop, stay right there." And we're like, "All right, cool, they're cops, whatever. We're not gonna die." So these cops, and then two cop cars come up. So then boom, boom, they have us right there. There's fucking 6 Alhambra PD cops on a rooftop talking to a half black guy and me, and they're telling us, "Oh, where's the weed at? Where's this at?" And we're like, "Are you fucking serious? We're just up here
trying to smoke."
Yeah, like, are you serious? Are you trying to catch us for something? So they pull me to the side and say, "Hey, you know what? We caught your friend last week and he snitched on his other guy. Told him that he had a Sharpie." I was like, "Oh, is that right? You're telling me my friend's a snitch?" He's like, "Yep, he told us everything." He's like, "Do you know the guy?" I was like, "Nah, tell me what happened." So he's like, "Yeah, this happened, and ultimately your friend gave him up." I was like, "Oh, is that right?" Because I know the other guy and he told me a whole nother story. He's like, oh, is that right? I was like, that's kind of what I said, right, officer? He's like, just get the fuck out of here, and he made us go downstairs.
And that was the same officer?
Yeah, it's the same guy. Fucking dick. I'm not gonna say his last name, even though I know his last name.
Bitch.
Officer Bitch. Yeah. Alhambra PD.
And Renee and Tito, you guys both said that nothing?
Well,
Okay.
well, the most I had was a cop telling me not to smoke on campus. But
That's yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure that's.
Were you scared?
well, no, I wasn't
Of
scared
the
because
tobacco?
it was tobacco. Yes, I don't smoke marijuana all the time, but
You know what's funny is you were there with us that day.
I was.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
when it was
when.
me and Martin. That's when you and homeboy ran.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right.
Car busted a bitch in front of
Jimmy
us.
was there too.
Yeah, and 3 of our heavyset friends ended up down the stairs in like 2 seconds.
Wait, no, Jimmy stayed up there.
No, it was me and Martin.
Oh, really? Okay.
He casually walked away.
Well,
Like, you guys booked it, and I was like, where'd they go? And Jimmy's like, I don't know. And then he's like, fuck, I'm gone too. So he just started walking, and Martin's just standing there just looking at him. And I was like, oh, I guess I gotta stay with Martin. And we look down, and all we see is you and homeboy just running the Super 8.
Yeah, I remember that. But anyways, the most that happened to me was I was at, my college. I was smoking in a place where I wasn't supposed to be smoking, but I figured nobody's right there, you know what I mean? I'm not bothering anyone. So I'll just have a quick cigarette, because it only takes me like 2 minutes to smoke a cigarette. So I got unlucky that day. That cop came up, and he was like, oh, you can't be smoking here. And he goes, so please put it out. And I was like, all right. And put it out. After he left, I lit it back up and just continued. But he wasn't like a dick or anything,
Yeah.
He was like one of the cadets at the college, and
Yeah.
he was just like, yeah, you just can't be smoking here. And I was
So,
like,
so that was it.
yeah, that's about it.
And what about you, Tito?
No, nothing.
All right. I'm pretty sure Bravo on the board over here. He has an experience with the cop. Would you like to elaborate?
I thought I wasn't talking on this one.
Well, you're not talking, but I'm gonna
just share your
talking, yeah.
your
experience.
experience
with
real
us.
quick.
Would you like one of us to tell the story?
Well, I wasn't there, so
we
I
can
can
reenact it. I mean, I know it pretty well. I was there.
Well, the one moment, I mean, I'm pretty respectful of law enforcement. I mean, you get one good look at me and they think, what a fucking goody two-shoot nerd. He's not a threat. Well, one time it was myself, Ricardo, our friend Lorenzo, and these 2 lovely ladies. I forgot what they're called. But we were on our way to, I believe, the mall. And out of the blue, I'm sitting in the middle, and I thought, hey, look. Maybe, we're driving up close to the mall. I'm not going to wear my seatbelt, the middle seatbelt, because in the car it was completely stuffed, and I was right in between Lorenzo and Ricardo. And so there wasn't enough room in the back, so I couldn't get my seatbelt. So I'm like, okay, look, they're not going to stop us. What are the chances? No, fucking highway patrol stops the fucking car. I'm thinking, holy shit, if they look back here and they see I'm not wearing a seatbelt, I'm going to get a fucking ticket, and my dad's going to have my ass. So in the fucking flurry of it all, now, mind you, I look like I'm a fucking schoolboy. Ricardo and Lorenzo look like they're about to go fucking shoot up a fucking neighboring gang members.
So Cholo's in.
Cholo fucking looking.
Way to sum us up.
Yeah.
Only one of us had gloves on. You don't have to say both of us.
No, they both look like they were gonna kill
You're
somebody.
my Cholo.
and so in the rush of it, I mean, I have to say I'm pretty sly with my movements, but in the heat of it, I think I feel what the tag is or the little seatbelt is, and I unlock Ricardo's seatbelt. He's like, oh. And so as I get it over, I wasn't able to click it in, but I get it over my waist.
Did you get it
kind
in?
of put it in.
Yeah.
I miscalculated how fast the cop was walking towards the window. He sees me, and he pulls out his fucking gun, points it right at my face, and said, "Put your fucking hands up in the air."
He also hit the back window.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He also hit the back window. He pointed right at me. And I mean, I'm fucking out of fear. I put my hands up, thinking, "Fuck, just don't fucking check my seatbelt." That's all I gave 2 shits about. Fucking Lorenzo and Ricardo are right next to me again. The most threatening looking fuckers in the car with their hands up and their cell phones. They're texting each other. What the fuck is going on? I'm coming like, yo, dog is pointing the gun at Bravo.
Making fun of the fact that out of all of us, the fucking 8 period student is the one in the gun.
Fucking
drama.
4.0 Brainiac is the one with the gun in his head. He's like, put your fucking hands up.
Well,
And
he's
I'm
the
in.
same asshole that unbuckled my seatbelt to plug his in.
I already said that, yes. And I was like, okay, and he's like, and then at that moment he's like, show me your seatbelt, and I'm like, okay, thank God. I showed him. It looked like it was, clicked in, but obviously it wasn't. And then he's like, okay. And he's like, don't do that. I was like, oh, and I just thought of an excuse right at the split of a moment. I said, oh, it's because my belt was really digging into me and it was making me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he's just like, sure. And why did he stop the girl? practically to see her tits because she was wearing her quote-unquote seatbelt wrong?
His excuse was that she was wearing her seatbelt improperly because one of them was under her breast.
Yeah, so, you know, our
My excuse is that he was checking out her breasts and decided he wanted to pull us over.
So that's our fine highway police officers right there on the line of duty.
Well, okay, I've had... All right. I didn't raise my hand, or I didn't say anything. Thank you, bro. I didn't raise my hand, or to be honest, I've had plenty of encounters with cops. The first one, I was 6 years old. I called the cops. I didn't know a word of English. I clicked 911 because I saw it in a movie, someone do it. So I was just like, hi, hello, and I just hung up. And then cops came. I'm sorry. So the cops came, gave me a talking to. I don't remember what they said, but they just showed up, and I remember that they just really they weren't happy with that I called. They were trying to teach me a lesson.
Did you get the chancla or the belt for that?
I don't remember. I probably blocked it out.
Repressed memories?
Yeah. And then, the second time that I remember, I was 14 years old. I had my keys on me in PE, and we were playing football. I lost my keys, so when I went home after playing football, I guess the keys fell out, and so I couldn't get into my house. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just pop open the window in the back and I'll hop in." Hopped in, let my buddy in, and we were playing Dead Rising in my room. And I hear a clanking sound on the window, clack clack clack. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I open it. Boom, dude, had 5 sheriffs on my front lawn, guns pointing at me. My eyes opened up so wide, dude. My hands went straight up. I was like, is everything all right?
Apparently not.
They were like, yes, we got a report that someone broke in. I went to the front door. They checked it out. Everything was cool. Ironically, my house got broken into a week and a half ago, so. And then... the next 2 times I was being a dipshit while I was driving, so I deserved it. But the last time I got pulled over by cops, the stupidest thing ever. I made a left turn. The cop just pulled me over. He had no reason to pull me over. But you know what? The thing is I kind of feel like some cops, they just want to pull you over just so they can do something. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily... Well, the reason he pulled me over was because I didn't have a front license plate. It was on my dashboard instead of on my plate, on the front bumper. The cop pulled me over. He just checked my ID. He checked my driver's license, insurance card. And the funny thing is, you know how they normally, when they get their card, they run it. When they get your driver's license, they run it and make sure it's good and everything. They see if you have any upstanding tickets or warrants. He didn't even run it, dude. He was just trying to see what the hell I was doing without a plate, So I kind of feel like some cops sometimes just want to fuck you over.
Well, they're trying to fill quota.
Yeah.
They actually do have to fill quota.
Okay, so here's my mom's stepfather was a cop. Okay, and what he always told my mom was that near the end of the month, of every month, that's when they fill their quotas. That's where they pull everybody.
Or sometimes at the start of the year, too, because I remember the first 2 tickets I got on the freeway from Highway Patrol were... cops were never there on the 10 freeway because we live in Los Angeles. 10 freeway is the freeway I take to get to my work. So I took the 10 freeway. I took the 10 freeway every morning. Never saw a cop until like the start of the year. The start of the year is when I see the most cops. I don't know if they're trying to fill their quota at the start.
They get a lot of shit. They have like a yearly count, like what they did, what they didn't do, and they have to kind of crack down in the beginning just to show that it's a new year, it's the same resolution type bullshit.
Okay.
I mean, based on all these, not all cops are bad. I've encountered a couple cops that have been pretty fucking cool. There have been a lot of cops. I've been known to throw a lot of kickbacks, and there's a lot of cops that go to my house like, "Are you 21?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "All right, just keep the fucking noise down." It's like, "All right, I'm sorry." They'll be like, "All right, cool, just don't let it happen again." And a lot of them will give warnings. They'll be really cool about it as long as you're not a dick about it.
Yeah.
I've noticed if you go somebody and somebody tends to be a dick with a cop, that's it. It's done.
Well, okay, like I'm not trying in any way to compare because I do for the listeners I do security. I'm no way am I trying to compare security to a cop, but to be honest, I'm normally cool as a security guard until someone starts acting like a dick, I normally, you know, if you're trying to do something, just let me know. Just don't fucking think you can do whatever you want just because I'm a fucking piece of shit security guard. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure the cops are like that times 10. You know what I mean? But I honestly don't think cops are bad guys. I just think there's just that minority that's fucking...
Exactly. It's just like, you got a lot of people tend to forget that cops are people too. You get your assholes and you get your good guys. And I think a lot of times the stories with the assholes stand out more than they do with the good guys.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, just I mean, you can apply that to anything though. So I think
Exactly,
people forget.
exactly.
Yeah, I think people forget that. I really do think people.
I
forget
think the
that.
majority of cops, you know, like you said, are good, but like anyone, almost anyone could become a cop. You know what I mean? And I think the way that's set up, like the testing and all that, it's too easy to become a cop. So the people that are, you know, not all there maybe psychologically or maybe they're just not tested through and through with you know, all the cop rules, so they kind of abuse their power, or they don't know all the rules, and you know that's why I feel they think they have too much power. You know.
But do you think that it's kind of how do I say this? Do you think that I don't know how to word it, but
Yeah.
What exactly are you trying to say?
all right. Well, what I'm trying to say is, do you think that gives them an excuse to act the way that they do?
Oh,
No?
definitely not. No, but I
No.
think that's why it's happening.
No matter
Okay.
the shittiest day you could have, no matter anything, you cannot bring your prejudice onto the job, such as being a police officer. That is something very serious. It's difficult, of course, but you got to keep yourself professional.
Oh, good.
I would just think it is kind of rough to be a cop. I mean, I've always made a long running joke since I was really young, because me personally, I never liked cops, just because of my family isn't too great with cops. I mean, a good percentage of them been locked up, been done this, done that, and I mean, I've always compared them to a gang, in the sense that they're the only gang with a badge. They have a brotherhood that is always on the streets. I mean, you know their colors, blue and red, and they all wear black. You know, they're all the same. You know, they all hang out together. They always stick together. They're a little above the law in some sense. But I also think that, in another sense, kind of makes them a target. I mean, it kind of sucks because all of us, I mean, cops are always interpreted as bad. I mean, I don't feel comfortable around a lot of cops, and a lot of the cops I've come across were actually kind of cool. It's just there's always that one or two or three that just fuck up everything that we think about cops.
Yeah, and like I said, it's always that way. But with everything in general, I think it's just we have more encounters with cops, and we see cops everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on TV, entertainment, social media. We see them everywhere. So I kind of believe that. We just fucking we always forget that they are human beings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they are susceptible to making mistakes and shit like that. Not that the mistakes are excusable or anything. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because, you know, they have that sense of just that they are above the law. I mean, a lot of cops have that sense that they are the law.
Yeah.
I mean, they think when they get the badge and the gun, they've been there a certain amount of time, that they have certain leeway. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's a totally different jump, but it's kind of like, there's a statistic that I read that 60% of people who have more money tend to break the law easier, because they feel like people in Bentleys, BMWs, cars that are worth money, they tend to break the law 60% more than people driving regular cars,
So,
because they feel
bitch.
that they are above the law, that they feel that they can pay out of any ticket, any fine, any say so. So I mean, if you feel entitled to something, you're gonna do more.
There's
You're
that
gonna,
word.
yeah, you're gonna. If you feel entitled, you're gonna do a lot more. I mean, it's kind of like somebody who works out a lot. These UFC fighters, these guys who are big and strong, and they end up fucking beating their chicks, or they beat up some dude on the street. You're not supposed to beat up somebody on the street. I mean, as much as that happens a lot on the streets of wherever need be, you're not supposed to put your hands on anybody at all, no matter the situation. If you're drunk, you're sober.
Self-defense.
It's self-defense, but I mean, in those terms, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You're
No,
not
I
supposed to at all,
completely
you know?
agree.
So, I mean, if you feel entitled, you're going to do it. And I think a lot of people feel entitled a lot of the times. I mean, look at John Jones. He's in trouble right now. The UFC fighter. He felt that he was above because he was the pound for pound. He was the number one guy in the UFC. And right now, he got his belt taken from him.
Because of that hit and run.
Yeah, the hit and run on a pregnant woman. He crashed into her car with he rented a car. He crashed into her car, and they found condoms, weed pipe, Bud, and he was drunk at the time.
Okay.
And the car's just demolished. She's in the hospital right now. They don't know the baby's gonna live. And the thing is that as soon as the UFC, I mean, because of all these things that are going on with sports, they tend to just
Crack the whip.
Yeah, Dana White was like, you know what? We've been baby feeding him too long. Fuck that. He's not the champion no more, and he's suspended indefinitely.
Okay, but do you think well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it also comparing what you just said to with police, you also have cops being suspended. I kind of think there's a little bit of, I would like to call bullshit on that, because some of these cops, they just get suspended with pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't get, I feel like they should be more of a high,
Repercussion?
a higher, a more sense of a higher repercussion against them, you know what I mean?
Well, because you have this sense of brotherhood with police, just like military, just like anything else. I mean, when you have a band of brothers, they're gonna tend to have each other's back.
Yeah.
Give the slap on the wrist a lot easier. Which, I mean, that's why I completely understand when it happens. I mean, there are a lot of these cases, like, I mean, we have list and list of all these brutality things that have happened recently, and all these cops get slaps on the hands because they've been on the force for 20-something years, because they knew the Supreme Court, they knew this, they knew that, and, I mean, it's a real cop. Well, not cop. It's a cop out. It really is. Because it's who you know.
Yeah.
They get them out, and it's because they get these lawyers and who these people find the easiest way to get them out, and they do it because they know everybody.
A majority of these cops, though, I've looked at, they've been on the force for what, like 10 years or less. I kind of feel like, I mean, what was I gonna say? Like the cop Darren Wilson, he was in the Darren Wilson with the Michael Brown case. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. He was in the force for under 10 years, I believe. He was like 7 years, something like that. Higher?
No.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, anyways, where I'm going with this is that we do have a lot of fucking cops, and I do feel like they do get, just a slap on the wrist for a majority of the stuff they do. We do have cases though where they do get indicted. I kind of believe that a majority of them should get indicted if you have no like evidence. I don't know. Do you guys know any cases that you kind of feel like the person should have been indicted?
Give me another definition of indicted.
Oh, where they have to stand trial.
They have to stand trial. Okay, so it's not like acquitted where they just drop the charge.
Yeah. Well, they at least have to stand trial. I believe it's bullshit. I believe it's bullshit when you don't have evidence. I believe it's bullshit when you don't have evidence to actually put them on trial. You know what I mean? Like if it's clearly evident that they didn't fucking shoot or they didn't shoot someone just because.
I looked up a couple cases. The only one I did find that they are making them stand trials with the Ezel Ford situation. He was the one that was shot by 2 LAPD officers despite being unarmed, and he was 25 years old and he was mentally ill. He was the one that they said he tried removing the police officer's weapon from their holster. He was the one that I believe they had handcuffed, right? And then he ran off, and he came back, and they detained him somehow, and somehow they said that they took the weapon from him and they shot him while he was handcuffed.
That was the one in LA, right?
Yeah.
Here? Okay.
And that one, they're saying the investigation is going to continue as soon as the autopsy report comes back, because they want to know exactly.
Wait, the autopsy hasn't been back?
No, that came back. That was just, they were going to follow up with that one.
Okay.
Now that everything's coming full closure, that one's the only one that I read about that they're actually going to continue on. Everything else that I found, they're saying that they're not going to face charges because the grand jury just passed the thing. There's another one that they said the grand jury let it go, that they're not charged. This one, they said that it happened because it was the fear for his life. This one, he acted in self-defense, and another one was acquitted.
Okay. These are several cases.
These are a bunch of cases, yeah.
Okay. I did want to ask, police. So you guys believe that police, and what we talked about, brutality and its meaning, do you guys believe that it happens with everybody? With anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it can happen.
It can happen with anybody, but the majority of the people being pulled over, being harassed, are from minorities.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tito?
Yeah, I believe they're from minorities. I believe they're kind of what's the word? Like biased in who they pick out to,
Profile.
profile.
Well, also you also gotta remember that we do live in we live in one of the biggest cities in the U.S.
Yeah.
You gotta remember that we are minority driven. You know, we have a huge minority base here.
Okay.
So whoever gets picked, not picked, but whoever gets pulled over, their chances of being, you know, a minority are higher than the rest. Now, would you guys do you guys believe that it's 100% bias on who gets pulled over?
No.
No.
I think so.
75, 80%.
I don't think so.
I think it's biased.
Okay,
It's not. I wouldn't say it's 100% because that's why I say no.
No,
Because he said 100%. But I mean, it is a big amount. You know, because the way they look.
Okay. Now, just curious. Have you ever been pulled over, Tito?
No.
No,
Well-
never, ever.
I have for small things.
Okay. Just completely off the top of my head, I've never been pulled over by a white cop. All my cops were of minority color. I mean, not that that has anything to do with it, but do you believe? Have you been pulled over by a minority cop?
Honestly, I don't look. I don't really.
Well, I remember because
I believe they were white. One was Mexican. You know,
Oh.
so I mean, it's a mix.
Well, what about you, Renee?
Well, I don't drive, so I don't get pulled over. But that cop that did tell me to put out my cigarette, he was Mexican.
The cop that you had to deal with, Ricky,
Mexican.
Mexican, Gray, cops that you had to deal with.
I think there were a couple of them. I'm not sure. I didn't get too good of a
Well, they were
look.
fully swatted out with you on.
Yeah.
Your erect penis out.
Yeah, man. That was terrifying, which made the erection even worse.
It got harder.
It was cold and it just wouldn't go away.
They're like, "Is that a weapon?" They're trying to take it from you.
What is this? What is it? Feels great, but
Let
you have
go.
the female officer do it.
It's gonna go off. No. Bang. I die.
Okay. Damn.
Because they would have shot me because I went off and my weapon went off.
No.
God damn
There
it.
was-
we
I
got
get
it.
it.
We got it.
Joke.
Oh my god.
Well, you know what? I guess where I'm going with this is, do you believe race has to do with the majority of, you know, why people get stopped, or, you know, police? How do you use brutality in a verb form? Brutalade? I don't know.
Well, I don't know exactly what you mean. You mean that does race have any part to do with it?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it does. It doesn't necessarily mean the cop. I think a lot more Latin cops are dicks, to be completely honest,
Think
because
so?
they have this
Machismo?
this mentality that we're sellouts. Because I know me growing up, you live by the code, the snitch. You know, you can't be a snitch. You know, you can't do this, can't do that. I mean, half the shit I saw growing up, you're not supposed to talk about. You know.
Right.
So it's to the point where it's like, all right, what about becoming a cop? It's like, really, you're gonna become a snitch? Like, that's how you feel? That's this, that, and then they look into all your background, and of course, I mean, it looks wrong. If I were to become a cop, I'd feel very weird about it. But do I think it's biased? I think yeah, but I think that's everybody. I think that's just our depiction of how people look. I mean, look, if you go into a certain neighborhood, you're not gonna feel different. I know when I go into certain neighborhoods, I lock my car door, I do this, I do that. Living in Alhambra, I of course I fucking don't, but I mean, anywhere else, I mean, there's certain, I mean, I lived in certain areas where I locked all my shit. I didn't want to keep my door open, didn't want to do this, do that. But that's because it's really how we feel about each other. It's our depiction of how we see each other.
So you're saying race matters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course
Most
it does.
definitely.
And that's with everybody. That's not just cops. I believe that's just cops are human beings, just like everybody else. They're gonna go through the same stuff.
Right. Okay. What about you, Renee?
I don't know.
Hold
When
on.
it comes back,
Sorry to interrupt. I really need a pee. So just kind of go around.
all right. So I'm gonna kind of revisit this topic of me, getting pulled over, and then I'll go on to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think the reason, I don't know. For some reason, I think, because honestly, what do I look like to you? Do I look Mexican or?
No.
Exactly. So
Honestly, you look Caucasian.
So do you think that has something to do with me not getting, more or less having to deal with cops?
Do I think it has an input on it?
Yeah. Do you think it has some sort of even a tiny amount of input?
I mean, honestly, you look more you look less likely to do anything than anybody else at this table. I'll be honest about that.
Okay, well there you
And
go.
Bravo's a fucking super nerd, and I still think that you're most likely not to do shit.
Okay,
You
then-
just look like a Stevie Stoner rocker kid.
okay. So if anything, they'll see if I have weed on me.
Yeah.
But okay. Back to being, what was the topic?
This one was about bias.
Bias.
Mhm.
I do, like you said, cops are human beings too.
Yeah.
They have their own prejudice and their own bias
Yeah.
towards different people
Yeah,
and
like-
different races. So of course that's gonna play into how they, they go about certain situations or a certain group of people.
Like I know you said earlier, Joseph, you said about the whole not bringing it to the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that's one of the hardest fucking things to do as a cop.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I honestly think that's why I've never became a cop. That would be so fucking hard to put my own personal opinions away. I mean, I'm not gonna judge
Sure.
somebody based on it, but I think we've grown up to a certain extent to knowing necessarily what we think is right, wrong, ethics to a point that it'd be hard to turn it off for 8, 9, 10 hours just to do our job and then go home. I mean, being a cop is like a major part of your life. If you're a cop, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to that extent, I don't think there's too many strong enough people to do shit like that. I really don't.
I just think that cops are a little more cautious around,
Yeah.
different
different
races. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna come out and say that like once again, I'm not comparing the occupations at all. I'm not comparing being a cop to being a security guard, but as being a security guard, I am a little. I do play into the stereotype a little bit.
The prejudice.
Yeah, a little prejudice. Yeah. And I mean, it's a shitty thing to say. I mean,
At my work too, actually. Like, I'm always the one kind of kicking homeless people out, and whenever we have like a kind of dirty-looking, like darker person, I'll kind of be like, oh, like, is he homeless? Is he not? Like, I'm kind of more stereotypical around
I
that.
wouldn't necessarily say prejudice is too much of a bad thing. I just think I think a lot of people throw prejudice with racism. Racism is hating a certain people for how they look, their color, what need be. I think prejudice is having a certain idea of what a person is.
Okay, I have a question to ask you guys. Okay, since cops are dealing with many different people of many different backgrounds, do you think that prejudice can turn into racism?
Yeah.
Depending on a bad situation.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Depending on a bad situation, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
they have like one bad experience with like a certain ethnic background, do you think that?
Well, I'm sure they're
prejudice-
not having just one. I'm sure they're
Okay,
having like 10
but-
each day.
No, but he means like there's just
like that one
that just
one just
makes
pushes
you
it.
cross
the
the
one
line.
that breaks the camel, the
Yeah,
straw
the-
that
the
breaks the
straw-
camel's back.
Yeah.
Animals, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I think, I mean, it also depends on the person, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's people that just after one experience, never again. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference too between profiling and actually. Well, this guy is wearing all black. He's carrying a TV at 2:00 in the morning. This does not sit straight with me. That's intuition. I think more.
You know,
So you mean you believe that there's a difference between profiling and actual
When they
A
have
gut feeling.
Yeah.
so something that's like instead of trying to guess or instead of worrying
Basing it
about
on-
your thoughts, it's more of analyzing the situation.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think there's just some situations that look real fishy.
like what?
Like, I mean, there's some of these where you read where it was somebody who's mentally challenged and they like, which one was the one recently where he charged the officer with a screwdriver or something?
Oh, damn it, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know off the top
I don't
of
know
my
exactly the name, but I mean, once again, my facts may not be 100% on that, but they said that it was a mid-aged African male, right, that had a screwdriver.
I thought it was a kid.
Was it a kid?
No.
It
wasn't a
it was
kid?
middle-aged, right?
It was middle-aged, okay.
And that he was mentally challenged and he came towards the officers. So I mean, with those, it's not white and black. You can't really just deem somebody guilty or not guilty because I mean, in that situation, I can tell you, I'd be scared. Because you gotta think, I mean, a lot of these people now, I mean, there's so many, and I'm not just saying minorities, I'm not saying black, I'm not saying Mexican, white. There's a lot of this cop killer mentality where, oh, it's cool, I mean, there's a lot of bad shit happening in the streets. And it's not just cops, it's not just thugs, it's not just this, it's not just that, gang members. I mean, there's some really scary shit out there. And
Yeah.
I don't really blame cops for being 100% lethal with shit like that.
Okay, so this is gonna go more into, you know, some of these cases. Like, okay, you know, when cops, you know, shoot someone and they kill them, you know, you hear a lot of people criticizing the cop for shooting to kill.
Yeah.
They say they should have done like a neutralizing shot or something like that. However, and I understand, you know, I can see the cop's point. It's your life or theirs. They're in a threatening situation now.
And sometimes when you're dealing with people that are hopped up on drugs,
Exactly, and
Exactly.
it's just
they power through that shit.
it's just they're just trying to, you know,
Especially PCP.
they're
That's
trying to
terrible.
like handle the situation as best they can under all that pressure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of these shooting, you know, these people that are killed by, you know, police, I can see them justified. Others, I do not, though.
Yeah, it really depends on the situation. And it's funny how a lot of people have an opinion of how things should have been taken care of after the facts came out.
Yeah.
Hindsight 2020.
It's very fucking similar. It's very simple to come up with, you should have neutralized him after knowing he was drugged up, after knowing he was mentally ill. I mean, if you're in that situation, I mean, tell me
You
this.
don't have time to
Yeah,
check
this
on his
37-year-old
medical records.
woman from fucking Stanford, Connecticut,
Yeah.
who comments, you should have did this, did that. It's like, you know what, lady, if you were in that situation, this, you know, middle-aged black man came at you with a screwdriver,
You would have shot to
and
kill.
you had a fucking gun,
You would have shot
you
to
wouldn't
kill.
have shot to kill? You would have neutralized the situation
To
and
be
taken
honest,
it to the ground?
to be honest, cops are actually trained to shoot to kill. They're not
Exactly,
trained to
they're
just
not
injure
trained-
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
I mean, if cops were trained in, like, mixed martial arts or something, to where, I mean, mixed martial arts is very well done. I mean, that's something that you can neutralize some. There's different kind of mixed martial arts where you can use it.
says the UFC fan.
Well, it's obviously taught in the military. so-
Yeah, of course.
One thing, even though, yeah. I recently saw in the news, well, not recently, but a good while ago, 4 Swedish cops that were on vacation here in the United States.
Oh.
They were able to subdue 2, I believe they were African American men who were a bit mentally unstable, without any sort of lethal violence. They, I guess you could say martial arts, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
they were finding a way to pin them down, and some guy recorded it. And the entire time they weren't yelling at him, was like, look, are you good? Can you breathe? You good? All right. Take a deep breath. Let's talk about it. Now, that you mentioned, like, I think it was you, Big Bird, that just mentioned right now, that they were shoot to kill. Many other places that I've come to see of police brutality in other parts of the world.
Places like where? Oh, they're parts of the
in
world.
other parts of the
Yeah.
world that are not the United States.
Yeah.
Cop killing is almost unheard of, practically. The level of deaths in the United States in compared to, let's say, Germany or other places. Again, that's why I don't talk much in this one, because I don't have that much intelligence or factual information, but I have seen this in the news, is that these people did not use lethal force. They used hand-to-hand combat techniques to train them down. These guys were like, they were crazy.
Yeah.
But they were able to pin them down, said, can you breathe? Are you good? Are we hurting you? And the guy's like, help, help. He's like, look, calm down, man. We're not really hurting you. Just talk to us.
Wasn't there like a couple New York officers that were on the scene who they kind of showed up?
Yeah, they showed up like a while after the incursion
Yeah.
happened, but the Swedish officers, I believe they were Swedish, they kept them down until, proper authorities came. So, in my opinion, the idea, I mean, I don't know, maybe you just brought that up, or you actually have information that you said they're trained to shoot to kill. These people weren't, and they were able to handle the situation quite well.
Okay, I have something to add to that, something of a counterpoint, but, you know, like, they're from Sweden.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a high crime rate as we do over here. Sweden's one of the safest countries. Okay, and so in European countries, it's harder to get firearms for recreational use, or, however you want to use it. Firearms over there are mainly used for hunting. So, I mean, you got to look at, where these people are from. And
Yeah, you gotta look at all the variables.
That is true, but either way, the event is, these guys, they must have been helpless. They were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But weapons or not, they were able to literally get in there quickly, neutralize it, bam.
That was also one situation.
I mean,
yeah, it all depends on the
it's been-
situation.
I
as
mean,
well.
I've heard of moments like these in the past. This is just the one current that I've heard of this year.
to be completely honest, also I believe, I mean, look, let's be fair. We don't also have the best cop civilian
Relations.
cultural relations. I mean, we have a song that says "fuck the police." You know what I mean?
Fuck the police.
Exactly.
Coming straight out of Compton.
You see what I mean? But
that movie's gonna be dope.
But you see what I mean, though. I mean, we have all this stuff that's anti-police. Why not? Why would these cops not be scared for their life sometimes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like a bunch of these people do have do just make up fucking shit just to you know, try to justify or get their ass out of trouble. But it just pisses me off. It pisses me off. Now one of the most recent not too recent, but definitely within the last year, was a case of Dante Parker. Dante Parker, he broke. Police got a call of a supposed break-in, and well, the cop showed up to chase him. They chased him. He pretty much got tased to death. Kind of. I mean, it's kind of hard to like really know the details without being there, seeing what happened. Now, one of the interesting things I saw, and I'm a fan of Jon Stewart. I'm a fan of the Daily Show. They reported on it, and they said that he got shot to death, not because they were reporting on it, but because they were comparing this case with other cases like Michael Brown, Isaiah Ford, all these other ones. Funny thing is that was actually
false information.
Yeah, false information. They didn't shoot him. They tased him. I mean, he still died. I understand it. And you know what? I also want to point out that myself, I don't believe that any of these deaths are justified.
No.
Any of these deaths are justified at all. But I don't think all of them are considered like they went in there to kill him. You know what I mean? That's just the way I see it. But when you say that someone shoots someone, what?
Oh, you got.
No, say it.
I think some are justified.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wait.
I think not to where it's something like that situation where they're tased to death or something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe other situations, like we have many of these on the timelines that, I mean, there were some of them that, I mean, you've heard of heat of the moment or passion kills, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where somebody was just either feared of their life, self-defense, something like that. So I mean, I think some of these do fall into that category to where it is justified. I just think, of course, it's always horrible to lose life.
That's where I was kind of going for. I kind of feel like no death, not no death, but most death isn't justifiable. But it doesn't mean that they deserve to die.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that their death is justified. You know what I mean? It happened. I guess it happened in a certain way where I understand why the cop shot.
Yeah. The media depiction of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's another aspect of it, dude. Media depiction of it. Media depictions of everything. You have CNN, Fox News giving you half-ass reports, dude.
Fair and balanced.
They should stick to, Family Guy. Shut the fuck up.
What's up?
So they should stick to Family Guy and shut the fuck up. The Super Bowl.
American Dad.
No, they got rid of American Dad.
Idiots.
Yeah.
You see Nazis.
Oh shit. What was I saying? Yeah, dude, the media depiction of all this shit is just completely insane, dude. You have the media only covering certain aspects of the police.
Yeah.
Police brutality cases. Not just the brutality cases, the aftermath.
Yeah.
The riots, dude. Like they only cover some fucking. As soon as the shit hits the fan, they're there to cover it. They don't cover everything going up to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like what happened in Baltimore.
Well, yeah, it's all point of view status. It's all
Ratings.
a lot of those have to do with ratings and pretty much an innocent and guilty type factor, where somebody is the aggressor and somebody's the weak.
What's gonna grab their ear? What's gonna really get them? Just this is.
I mean, you're not gonna turn on the news to watch peaceful sit-in at Baltimore. You're gonna see the fucking buildings burning down.
Do you think it'd be nice to hear
You're
about
not
it?
gonna watch that on the news. They're gonna show it for fucking 5 seconds and just
But
put
do you
hippie
think?
sit-in.
But do you think even of this?
They're gonna watch it and then go back to eating their dinner.
Like, oh, that's great for them.
Do you think even being mentioned would be helpful?
I mean, it would be good to show a certain positive impact from a young standpoint, at least from our generation, but I mean, to be completely honest, I don't think that really makes a fucking difference. I mean, sit-ins have been in for a while. I mean, from flower power to stop the war to do that. I don't think sitting around like a fucking hippie fixes anything. I mean, peaceful sit-ins, by all means, if it makes you feel great at the end of the day, like you did something, that's perfectly fine, but I think if you want to do something, you actually have to become part of what's going on.
Yeah, another thing too, like for like police or something like that. One thing that would work better than all these, sit-ins, is try to try to work towards some sort of government reform, police reform, something like that. Don't just sit on your ass.
The only way is from the inside out. There's no way to doing it from
exactly.
the
You can't do nothing from the outside. You have to start getting inside.
I just want to say something to whoever's listening
means.
and to all you guys. Nothing pisses me off more. Fuck you, Bravo. Flip me off, piece of shit.
Now we know Bravo pisses you off. Okay, next topic.
No, nothing pisses me off more, and I'm not saying it's not a race thing. I'm not saying it's not a race thing. I'm just saying that I kind of feel like some races are just thinking it's them when it's everyone. You know what I mean? That's just me.
You mean
Martyr.
hashtag Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
They feel like martyrs,
not martyrs.
They feel like they're the only
crucifying themselves.
I don't know, dude.
Christians in Roman times.
I mean, I wouldn't be going to it that far. I mean, I kind of feel like they're
feel they're the only ones targeted.
Yeah, they're victimizing themselves. Now, I'm not saying this for the majority. Scare the shit out of me. Yeah.
He speaks.
Is the cops.
Hide the guns.
No, I'm not saying this is a majority.
NSA, joke.
God damn it, Jerry. I'm not saying this to the majority. I'm just saying it to
certain
to certain people. I kind of feel it's bullshit. I feel it's bullshit because you guys think you're they think they're the only ones.
Yeah.
You guys think you're the only ones. There's a lot of us out here. These are just the cases that are being brought up by the media.
Here's the thing, the media, like again, what Grace said and what Bravo said many times before, it's about ratings. So what is going to get the viewers in? Making it a race thing when it's not a goddamn race thing.
Yeah,
Social
and
media.
And I'm not saying I'm not sympathizing with them. I sympathize with them.
Yeah, exactly.
You
sympathize
definitely.
with what they're going through, but
Just the fact that it's not all about that. Now, I want to quote something. Because I kind of feel like this is addressed at police officers in general, at going against what's happening, because police brutality does happen. I believe in it. I do believe there's good officers out there, but I also believe that there are some that minority that fucks it all up for the rest of them.
Yeah.
And here's what the quote says. Sure, race matters, but if you want to improve policing, you need to move past the idea that police only do bad things to black people. I believe that a lot of lives. I believe that a lot of lives that have. God damn it, bro! You fucked me up with that dick sucking thing that you just did. I believe that a lot.
There are so many confused people.
No. Bravo just did like that.
Let me jump
See,
in.
yeah.
I was going. Oh, he's right.
Oh,
so,
damn.
hell with you then.
I thought you had your mouth.
Social media fucked you up.
Yeah, social media. Yeah.
you gotta stay
Fuck
off,
social media.
yeah, you
dude.
gotta
First
stay
of-
off that shit, man.
Yeah, I know.
But it's just funny that now, I mean, social media played such a big part in this that now it's the cops are taking social media into their hands.
Also,
Body
Yeah.
cams. Body cams are gonna be their way of media now. That's gonna be our new fucking cops. I don't know how many more World Star videos I'm gonna see of cop cams now. Of some cop fucking some chick on duty, or some cop, going to go buy donuts instead of working, or some other dumb shit.
Hold on. I want a World Star hip hop. Is that
World Star.
World Star.
It's kind of like if you start kicking Gray's ass right now, I'm gonna scream World Star while I record you.
Oh,
Wow,
that sounded weird.
That's too fruity for me to record. So, but yeah,
No, when I get in a real fight, I'm fucking people up.
You're
Calm down.
not.
All right, go on.
Go on, Ricky.
yeah, like I'm saying, now they're even taking it into their hands to become a social media outlet, to where this is. I mean, by all means, cover your ass however you fucking can. But I don't think this cop cam is gonna be such a great idea
Why is that?
for a prolonged amount of time, because there's loopholes in everything we do.
Red tape.
These cop cams are gonna be great until they find a way to turn them off, or to fucking blindside them, or
not
to
to mention the cost. It's just
exactly. It's more on us to fucking find a way for them to get out of shit that they're doing wrong. And not all cops are doing wrong. I'm not saying that. but they're gonna be on fucking clean cop duty for maybe 2-3 weeks until they find a way to fucking loophole around it, and then it's gonna be the same old shit, and then they're gonna use this in their defense. Other people are gonna use it for their defense. It's gonna become another ploy to use on your side, and it's just gonna be a pain in the ass.
Okay, so about these, these like live, what are they? Body cams?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have some like a little like I guess fact right here.
Yeah.
How much is it gonna cost?
With Obama found out that all of them are gonna be funded individually, different ways. Every police department's gonna be different.
Fundraisers, shit
Yeah.
like that? Okay.
Taxes, but it's gonna be 1.5 million for 800 body cams.
And how many like departments are we talking about? Or are we just talking about like the major ones, or is this just a small portion?
This is gonna be in fucking wherever makes money. Whatever cities make money is where they're gonna have it. I doubt bumfuck Egypt is gonna have body cams. I'm not talking about Egypt literally. I'm talking about like a little fucking city here and there. I'm not talking about
A middle of
Egypt.
nowhere.
Yeah, I'm not talking about sand. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about in the U.S. There's gonna be some places. Of course, LA's gonna do it. Of course, New York's gonna do it. Chicago's gonna do
Detroit.
it. Ferguson's gonna do it. I mean, all these places are gonna do it. It's gonna happen to the major cities. It's gonna happen. But I mean, so just think of what this is gonna do. It's just gonna be fucking ridiculous. It's gonna be another distraction for the media. That's exactly what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So you think it's them trying to go for like a quick solution instead of going for the real problem, which is probably in training?
Exactly. It's gonna be their way of saying, instead of fixing the problem, we're gonna put a camera in police officers' hands now, to where it's not just a civilian asshole out there recording. Now it's the cop recording as well.
I have a quick question. Where like when you say body cams, you mean like where on their body?
It really depends where at. I mean, they said the main four are going to be on the police officer's collar, their hat, their glasses, or their helmet. It depends what area you're going to be in and what type of cop you are going to be.
Okay, so when you mean what type of cop you're gonna be, so if you're highway patrol, most likely you're gonna have it on your helmet or something. Okay,
it really depends.
GoPro. Yeah.
Selfie.
So
Oh God, no.
So these live cams, do you think they're gonna be more harm? Are they gonna cause more harm than good?
Me personally, I think it's gonna do more harm, but it's just funny that, I mean, police haven't even researched this. It's just kind of a cop out for them. I mean, they haven't. They've said it themselves that they haven't researched it. It hasn't been researched.
So it's just gonna be something to get the. It's gonna be a distraction, like you said. Just
a lot
get
of
the attention off of this.
A lot of police don't even think it's a good idea. It's coming from Congress. It's coming from somewhere higher up. It's coming from them to think that it's a good idea.
Do you think that Congress is just throwing this out there as an idea
course.
just for okay, cool.
It's their way of saying, we're gonna fix it by giving them cameras.
But they're not.
We
gonna
care.
fix it.
We care.
Social media more, which is the fucking problem right now. That I don't know how many trials, this and that they're using these videos that you see on YouTube that we can see, that anybody can see, to say this is what happened. I mean, coming down to the Ferguson situation. Oh, not Ferguson. The Trayvon. I know this is not police. This is not police brutality.
I'm not.
No, but I'm saying
I don't want to talk about this because I have. No, I think that we can't bring that one in.
I'm not getting into topic. I'm not getting into the whole part of it. I'm just saying, in that situation, that was not a cop. That was not anything that happened. But that whole situation was a whole opinion-based situation of what went on. Because nobody knows what the fuck happened except for Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with a lot of these cases. It's between the two people, but everyone and their fucking mother has an opinion.
I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take a shot at that.
Don't take a shot.
I'm gonna take no, not at you. I'm gonna take a shot at all the dipshits that are comparing the Trayvon Martin thing with actual like Michael Brown shit, Eric Garner shit. You guys are dumb shits. All right, there's two huge differences.
Fox News.
Like and everyone on social media too. That's like how do you just compare the two? They're two night and day situations.
Here's the thing: when it comes to social media, and even with these fucking these body cams, nobody's gonna know what actually happened.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you'll see it, but you don't know what
So
I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just saying they won't know what exactly is going on. Yeah, you'll see from a certain angle, but you won't really know.
Yeah, it's really one point of view.
Yeah, it's one point of
It's
view.
kind of like seeing a movie from one angle. You don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
Yeah, no. I mean, what about you, Greg? What do you think?
About the Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown being
No,
compared?
no,
or
these body cams.
body cams?
Pay attention.
For now, it's a good start. They still haven't addressed the main problem, which I think would be training. They probably need some more sensitivity training. Definitely with the mentally impaired.
Yeah.
There can be improved, because I think some courses take up for only a few weeks, a few months. I think it.
You know what? There's actually a case that actually kind of ticked me off. Fuck, I already forgot the name of the case, but it was the mentally ill dude that got beat right here in LA.
Oh,
You have it right here.
yeah, I have it.
Come on.
Which one? Which was it? With the one screen for his father?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
one.
that's
it
Kelly
was
Thomas.
There we go. See.
That was a 37-year-old mentally ill and homeless man who was beaten by officers as he cried out for his father for help.
Whose father was a
Yeah,
police
and
officer.
also both were found not guilty. Well, Michael Ramos was found not guilty, and Jay was acquitted.
See, I remember actually listening to that. I was coming out of Albertsons, and I remember I clicked on the radio, and they were talking about it. I pulled off to the side of the road so I could hear. I heard, and I was like, that's complete bullshit, dude. You completely see the video. You completely see the aftermath. You pretty much see everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck they got there, to be completely honest. I mean, any ideas on how the hell they got there? Because I sure as hell don't.
We're never gonna know how they got there.
Do you think it's bought out or something?
I have no idea. All I know is, to that point, I don't care how mad you are. That video was kind of heartbreaking. Just to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, just to watch it was kind of fucking hard. You can tell. I mean,
Dude, I got as soon as he started screaming for his dad, I turned it off. I couldn't. That was one video I could
You
not
guys all
watch.
heard that video, right?
No.
Oh, God.
He was just held
Yeah,
down
bro.
and just
So
beating,
yeah,
beating
dude.
and beating, and you can hear. I mean, I'm not saying all special needs people you can fucking tell that they're special needs, but I mean, you can hear it in his voice. You can hear what was going on. This kid was, well, not kid. I mean, he was 37 years old.
he was-
But I mean, his mindset there, you can hear that he was just terrified. It's
just the fact that every time he was crying out for help,
they were like,
they would
hit
I
him
saw
harder.
another swing and another swing. That was fucking horrible, dude.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
It was. It really was.
So
I'm glad I
died a
didn't see
bit
that
that
video.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm glad I didn't
yeah,
see
you
that
know what?
video.
I
Depressing.
Don't watch it.
I
Don't
wouldn't
watch
watch it. You know, when we watch a lot of those fucked up movies, this is one that you just want to skip. Honestly, it just
Yeah, I don't know.
it
I'm
sucked.
not gonna watch
It really sucked. My mom was the one that showed me it, because she came in one time. She was like all teary eyed, and I was like, "Fuck, what'd you watch now?" And she showed me. I was like, "You fucking asshole! Why'd you show me that? I was having a good day." And just
But-
it just completely
Like, if I were to watch that, I'm pretty sure I would cry. I'm more of a sensitive
yeah,
individual. So
it was one of those, dude. I mean, a lot of these videos, they're meant to get a lot of emotion out of you, and you can tell when it's. You can feel when something's real.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was cops there that felt it was real, but I mean, I will say that there are a lot of cops that just follow what they're told as well. I think there are that brotherhood.
Well, we're talking about like videos that actually got you a little bit emotional. Last year, I saw this. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but there was I forgot what state it was in, but it was in the east on the East Coast. This old guy in the pickup truck. This old guy in the pickup truck. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
He gets out, and then the cop's like, "Stay in your car. Stay in your car. Don't
when He was
move."
in front of his family.
No. His wife. I think his wife was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets out, and then he
And
reaches
goes
for
to get
the
a cane, right?
Yeah, he goes
And
to
he
get a cane.
slips.
No. He goes to get a cane, but you can't tell there's a cane in there. The cop is just yelling at him to stay still, stay complete, not to move, to stop doing what he's doing. Reaches out, pulls out his gun, and shoots him, dude. All right, he doesn't kill him, but he wounds him.
And
He
he's just,
calls
like, bleeding right there.
Yeah, he calls for help. He's fucking crying. That was a video that I could not watch, dude. I got teary eyed. I was just like, dude.
Yeah, the
you sh-
cop was so upset about
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, he was just fucking.
And you could tell it was an honest mistake.
Yeah, dude. I
I
mean,
mean, the number one thing when you're getting pulled over, do not get out of the car.
and do not reach to the flatbed of your truck.
No.
You know? And just like I really did get teary eyed, dude.
Yeah,
just
same
just because like you see the cop's reaction. He's talking to the other guys like, I thought he was reaching for a shotgun, man, and he was just crying.
But do you know why he got out? Why didn't he just listen?
It was
Like
just
just stay inside.
It
She
was
just
just the
did.
first impulse to just get out of the car for some reason.
Mhm.
Nobody knows really why. He
Except
just
him.
jumped out. Yeah, he just jumped out and just went to go get his kid.
But I mean, he didn't get out like all quick. Like
No,
he
no,
got
yeah,
out,
he-
stepped
No, yeah.
out. The cop was already telling him to chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you see them reach for something, I mean, you automatically have to think the worst.
Yes.
Okay, real quick, let's jump back to body cams just for a split second. We have Dylan Taylor, Utah. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Dylan Taylor. Anyone? Anyone?
No.
No.
Dylan Taylor was being chased by a cop. Got shot. Had a body cam on. We're still, I believe we're still awaiting his trial. I believe that, you know, they can be used for some good. Now, the only thing I can think of, off the top of my head that I can think of that can help out the cop situation, military training. That's the only thing I can think of, off the top of my head. Anyone else? Anything?
You mean to start training them cops to be like the military?
No. Like people coming from the
The
military.
military to become
Yeah.
cops? Fuck no.
No, you don't. No,
A lot of them
Come
I'm not
back
saying
with
all, they
messed
they
up.
come back with
No.
PTSD.
Yeah.
No. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, you do also get a physical, psychological training. Yeah. You get all kinds of training. There was a case recently, though. I mean, there's something that I completely believe would disapprove my point. Was that cop that went to Texas and then tried running? I don't know if you remember Bravo. No one else. Yeah, he shot someone. Then his dad covered for him while he went, I think, to Texas, or he tried bailing to Mexico.
Yeah, he tried to go to Mexico.
Yeah, he was in the military, I believe. And then that he definitely, but I believe someone with some sort of military training, psychological evaluation, like deep psychological evaluation. I think that might be something we can dive into. I mean, that's the start. That's the only thing I can think of.
I just think better training, period.
Yeah, better training.
Just in all, and more training. I mean, I think a cop should be something like a doctor. Doctors never stop learning. Every year, every 2 years, you have to go back to school. You have to keep learning. You have to learn new sicknesses, new diseases, new this, new that. You have to go to conferences constantly, dude. When you're a doctor, you're a nonstop fucking learning machine. That's what you're. One of these. You're like a laptop. You gotta keep functioning. You gotta keep learning all these. Cause I mean, there's sickness after sickness after sickness. Same thing with police officers. With them, it's not gonna be sickness. It's gonna be making sure they're in the tip-top shape, making sure that they can take care of a situation, learning that there's different drugs on the street, learning that there's different things going on, initiations, this, that. I mean, there's ways to train them. I mean, there's enough fucking cops. In Alhambra alone, there's enough fucking cops.
Dude.
I see a homeless man with a beer that got stopped by 7 cops, and you're like, okay, slow day.
Do you think though that I don't know, well, there's other countries that don't have weapons? Do you
Like
think?
London
Do you
with
think? Yeah.
I
like
think
the
we gotta
UK.
stop looking at other countries. We're not other countries. We're the
No, I
US.
know. We're the American.
We're America. We're
America.
Bruce fucking Willis, you know?
Yeah.
Right to
They're-
bear.
they're-
No. But to be honest, so you got to look at other people's success to look at yourself sometimes.
And I look at history repeats itself. We're never gonna be them.
I'm not saying
No,
we
no,
are.
I know, but I'm saying there's no way. There's no way for me to live right here and look across the street and be like, I want to be like them.
No, see, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. But I'm just saying, do you think
There's like ways of learning.
non-lethal ways would be better? Just like other places. Now, look, I wouldn't compare our
I
situation
understand.
to
No, I'm
the
just
UK because they also do have a smaller crime rate and they also have a different gun control. I wouldn't look to them, but I'm just saying, would you
study their ways.
Yeah,
and try to
yeah.
save
It's something
face.
similar to them.
But I don't think so. I think we just have to adapt our own ways, and I think it's just gonna continue getting worse.
You think it's going to continue getting
Yeah,
worse?
of course it is.
Yeah, I'm with Ricky on this one. I think it's going to continue to get worse. Tito?
I will go against it a little bit. If you have that mindset, it's just gonna get worse. You need to have like you said earlier, have that mindset would you say exactly?
To expand your viewpoint.
Yeah, kind
to
of
learn.
expand your viewpoint and just get better, learn from your mistakes, learn from history, and there's so many different race riots that have been going on, and now everyone knows the facts, and it's just history repeats itself.
With your point about how other countries are dealing with similar situations, I guess since we're in a different country, we have a different culture, it might work out differently with us, but it's a good place to start with the programs that are set up in, like you said, Sweden, London. Well, London has a very little crime rate because of gun control they have. That's a topic for a whole nother day. But really, it would be a good idea to look at other countries, how they dealt with similar problems, because we're all people. Just try to simplify it.
And we're all different. We all have different variables in our lives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you guys all think it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, it's probably gonna get worse.
I think it's
It
gonna get
usually
worse.
gets worse before it gets better. Yeah,
I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. That's just the way I see it.
So you're Batman.
Very
we're
good.
cynics.
You're
Yeah,
Batman.
I'm the dank knight.
No. The night is always darkest before the day.
Yeah, pretty much that mindset.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna
I was
adapt to
watching
the
No, I
stupidity.
think it's the night is always darkest before the dawn.
Oh, whatever. Fuck you.
No,
Oh, I get it.
Nerd.
Dawn of Justice. You're brilliant.
No,
Thank
the one thing I wanted to add is, especially in the United States, because I do like the point, and even I made this point about other countries and how their police force is used, the idea of gun control. I mean, I think a lot of these, and speaking from an individual, obviously, I mean, like, this is where I was born. This is my home. The only way, in order to finally stop this cycle of hatred, cycle of fucking revenge, of, you killed my best friend, or you killed my friend, or, a fellow black man, white man, whatever, I'm gonna hate cops, and cops is like, yeah, well, your guys killed one of my guys. Is there gonna come a time where both sides are gonna have to just put their anger, their rage aside, stop for a single second, and say, all right, the cycle of, like, revenge is really not getting us anywhere. We're practically destroying each other.
Yeah.
The only time, and I mean, who knows, it might come down the road soon, it might not, or this might just be what's going to destroy the United States from the inside out, but the moment in which
We've had a
both
good run.
citizens can stop saying, fuck the police, and I've seen memes on it, but like, well, why don't you stop breaking the fucking law? As well as cops saying, well, because he's my buddy, he's my, my cop friend, he's, I could cover him. No, the law is the law. The law is man-made, but in and of itself, it's something that does not have a...
to hold us to higher standards.
No, it does not. It should not have a loophole, even though it, by words it does. Until police officers stop believing that some police officers, mind you, stop believing that they are above the law because they hold the badge. They are enforcers of the law. They are not the law itself. At the same time, citizens should stop thinking, well, fuck the police, immediately start hating them without actually thinking, then the cycle of hatred will continue.
So what you're basically saying is we need to change ourselves. Both parties need to
sides
change themselves
need to stop
to
and
make
think.
progress.
Both parties need to stop, think about it, say, look, why the fuck are we really angry at each other?
Yeah.
Cops have bad days just like we do. They're gonna look at us, and this is speaking from both sides at the same time. They're gonna look at us, we're all gonna have bad days, we're all gonna act irrational because we're fucking human beings. But if we keep fucking hating the other individual on certain moments of days that happen, or one event that changed us entirely, we're just gonna fucking destroy the nation that we're creating, and at the end, we, as the future of it, we're gonna have to fucking deal with it. Because I don't want to feel every time I see a cop passing by thinking, fuck, he might stop me, he might beat me, and a police officer doesn't want to see me walking down the street at night thinking, holy shit, does this motherfucker have a gun? So until we both stop for a second and fucking think, is like, okay, should we really fear what we're afraid of? Is everybody this way? Are all cops this way? Are all citizens this way? If we can't just stop and think and fucking breathe for a second, then of course it's gonna get fucking worse.
Yeah. No. You know what? I completely just times 2 cubed to the 12th power.
That's
what
not
you
enough.
just said. Fuck you. No, to be completely honest, I feel a lot of people go off on their emotions. Every every case I look at or every case that gets brought up that's, you know, controversial, quotation mark, I always just wait for the facts. I already started in the past. I've gone off of pure emotions and made myself look like an ass on social media.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, fuck you.
Baby, please.
No. But as soon as I start, I realizing I'm more level headed once I start seeing all the facts. Once I start, you know, waiting for everything to come in, because there's one thing I know for sure is don't trust social media. Don't trust social media to get your facts, dude.
Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Sure.
Yeah,
exactly.
Social media is such a toxic thing to us.
And I go on there just to fucking throw my words out. If anyone has anything to say, they can fucking. What are they gonna do? 1v1 me?
I just go on there to like pictures.
But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much. I mean,
So
I'm
you're
pretty
saying we need change?
yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna change.
I was gonna quote the poet himself, but you killed that. Right. I was gonna quote changes and see who knew.
Stupid.
Goddamn life alert! You ruin everything.
All right, no. Seriously though. Seriously though, it's gonna change. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure. No, obviously, none of us know how. It's gonna change.
I think
But
Civil
will it
War
be for
II is
the
gonna hit
better
good.
or for the worse?
Huh?
But will it be for the better or for the worse?
We won't know
Everything-
until it happens.
No, I think everything will always change for the better. I think everything. I honestly always think everything will change for the better. Shit might get worse, but I think it's gonna be for the best. That's just my opinion.
Like I said, things are gonna get worse before they get better.
I mean, if we all have to
We're
kill
cool,
ourselves, then fuck it. We're gone. We're best. It's the best.
You can Cobain
I don't-
yourself. I like. I like myself.
No. On the real, I don't know. I have no idea. It might get better, it might get worse. I'm just here for
So
the
that's
ride,
your
dude.
opinion.
I'm just here for the ride, dude. I mean,
Gray, what do you think?
Will it get better or worse?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
So we got two for better, worse before better.
and one that does. No, I don't care.
No, I said those two.
Oh, okay. I don't care. Something's gonna happen, and I'm just like I said. I'm just here just to see what happens. Bravo, I know you're not really part of this.
What do you think?
You raised some great points. I just want to know what do you think?
It is gonna get worse before it gets better. Until we can stop thinking with emotion and start thinking with our heads.
Yeah,
it's gonna get worse.
Yeah. I know Jimmy. He's just been sitting here. He hasn't really.
He's
been-
back from China.
Just real quick, do you think it's gonna get?
Ni bu hao?
Okay.
So
I
it's your
don't-
opinion.
Yeah. Do you think it's getting better or worse?
Better for who though?
Oh,
Us as a people.
everyone.
Citizens.
Worse.
Worse. Okay, worse.
Just worse, no better?
No good.
No, it's just
Okay.
so all downhill from here.
Dame.
Dumb.
It's it totally sounds like Divergent. Like everything kind of, you know.
Divergent?
people
That was a
yeah.
good movie.
Isn't that
No,
Hunger Games without the
everything
hunting?
you guys are saying like reminds me of that. Like like get rid of emotions. Like use your heads and like
Robots.
everything like that.
I don't know. The only reason I haven't watched that movie is because on Hulu Plus it came on every fucking commercial, and I was like, ugh.
Okay, so
Yeah, so that's kind of like how society's gonna get better. It starts off worse, lose
Get
emotions. turn
So
into a
in
diversion.
the end, it's gonna get better.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
As long as we don't blow ourselves up.
Tactical
nuke. We're a destructive
As long
race,
as we don't
dude.
Hajima ourselves.
Oh, Genbaku.
Genbaku ourselves.
Holy shit. And Renee?
Well, I already said it's
Oh,
gonna get
yeah,
worse
that's
before it
right.
gets better.
That's right. All right, cool. All right, well, that was our hour and 18 minutes. Bye.
Sayonara.
All right, thank you for tuning in to the Dame podcast. We'll see you next time.
Genbaku.
Fuck social media.
Aye.